Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and I was gone for that whole month, so make sure and like and subscribe because you like my face being back, or maybe you like this guy's face and it'll be here. Or if you get us to enough subscribers, let's say
I already know where this is going.
No, you don't. You don't know where this is going.
Continue.
If you get us to like 1.5 million, subscribers, it's a lot. We'll hire a hot chick to take over for us, and you'll have something a lot cooler to look at, okay? You won't have to look at me anymore. But you got to get us enough where we can afford that. So get everybody to subscribe, and we'll hire a hot chick. Or maybe Caleb will become a hot chick.
See, that's where I thought that was going.
That's where it's going. Anyway, what we decided to do for today's video, and also check out our Patreon one, Matt. I got to remember to talk about that. You can now do a free trial, so it doesn't cost you to check it out, see if you like the community. It's where we sell our animals first. It's also where we allow members to sell animals, so you can buy and sell on there yourself. We have a really healthy Discord, and like I say, there's a free trial for tiers starting at $5 and $10 and higher. So check it out. Give it a look. See if you want to stay. Join us for more video content, more animal content, and a really kick-ass Discord. Now, on to today's video. What we're going to be doing today, since I was gone for so long, and Caleb had to manage the collection pretty much by himself. Kurt does most of the rat management, but he's not here with the snakes every day. Usually it's me and Caleb. Caleb is all on his own for a solid month, which means he had to do everything. So I was like, you know what? After you've been doing this for a month, why don't you share with us what 2 of your favorite animals are to work with now that you've been doing it all on your lonesome. So I'm going to get out of here, let him talk about 2 of his favorite animals. You can probably get a guess as to which the first one is.
Yeah. So this is the what's the scientific names? Because there's central called central pythons or central carpet pythons.
Brenli?
Brenli. I don't know how to pronounce it. You get the point. It's a really cool snake.
I am not the only one who doesn't prepare well.
I'm really bad with Latin names, probably because it's a dead language, and but this thing was probably by far. It wasn't my first pick. First pick I passed on just because this one doesn't get shown off enough, and this thing I really came to enjoy. I don't know if it's just because it was a newer to the collection, so you don't. I don't know. You haven't seen it as long as there's still that like fresh toy kind of feel, I guess, but not because obviously. This thing is just an amazing, gorgeous animal. I love when he gets back here. It almost looks like a green on black. Like I just love the colors of this thing. My favorite thing though was either feed time because this thing is a voracious eater, or whenever I'd open the tub to go through and water everything, I'd open up the tub and it wouldn't really get super aggressive. It'd stick its head out like inquisitive, like, ooh, what are we doing? What's going on? And so it was always fun because that's something different. A lot of these tubs will open and it's the females wanting to murder my face, looking for food. Or you have others who are just sitting in a ball, not really paying mind. Where this one kind of opened up, was like looking around, trying to see what we were going to do. I was just wanting to roam, and I'd get it out for a little bit and hang out with it. And it was different. It was a unique experience. And, I feel like this thing, and I could be wrong, but I feel like this thing has grown quite a bit since we last got it. So watching it, what I feel like is growing is also just really, really cool.
Yeah, and we mentioned it being in the tub, right? What are our long-term plans here? Is this going to stay in the tub?
Absolutely. No, I'm just kidding. No, so it just kind of got out of quarantine. We're making sure that it's still eating. Wanted to make sure nothing is wrong with it. We have a wooden enclosure upstairs, which I think's been on YouTube before. Maybe not if it hasn't. And it's going to go in a nice big... It's like a semi-arboreal setup, and it's going to go really awesome in that. It's going to make these colors shine. I think the wood on this brown is going to look phenomenal, and I'm really excited to get it up there, but obviously want to make sure that, and this is something that I have seen as a zookeeper and something I have seen in the private sector. Some people rush to put them in those big tubs, and the argument is, well, there's no small enclosures in the wild. I get that line of thinking. I do. Some animals do great putting them in their adult enclosure right away. And this one would probably do fine right now. But I have seen time and time again, something doesn't eat, and by the time they try and make an adjustment, it's too late, and when going back down, fixes the solution of maybe just a little shy, maybe throwing a little more clutter, whatever. So sometimes it is better to just be cautious. It's for the animal's health and safety. As you can see, I mean, this is some good body proportions. We're not fat. We're also not thin. Just perfect where you want it. If I can really get her to stretch out. I mean, just perfect body. It's just an amazing animal. So sometimes it's okay to just let it sit for a second and make sure you're covering your bases, getting it well adjusted. I know people who've bought captive bred water monitors that were hand tamed by the time they got shipped to them. They stuck it in an adult enclosure or an outside enclosure, and it reverted back to its normal state, and they had to regain that animal's trust. Sometimes that happens, and so sometimes taking a step back and just letting the animal do its thing. And look at this thing. I mean, just a gorgeous animal. I'm so excited to see this thing grow up too. The adults on these look awesome. The browns shine through. It starts to get, this turns really kind of really dark black, and you have a lot of good contrast. And of the carpets, these are probably one of my favorites. I put carpets in quotations because people go back and forth. It's not really it's in the same family, yada, yada, yada. It's a carpet, right? For all intents and purposes of what we're doing, it's in the carpet family. You know, it's got the Morelia, Brindle. So, yeah. But a lot of Australians just call them the Central or Centralian Python.
All right. Well, I'll take that so you can grab your next one if you want a little bit of sanitizer. It's right here. Come here, you.
Sanitizer is always important, especially like this animal. It's out of quarantine, right? We're not quarantining it anymore, but it's a newer animal, so your health benefits, all that good stuff. This one's gonna be a little bit trickier to get to. Hi, girl. So this is another one. She's actually putting on a lot of good weight. I was afraid she might look a little thin because she laid, I think, 6 good eggs, maybe 4 to 6, but all good eggs. She had a really nice clutch, and that's this animal here. So what are we looking at? We are looking at a black pastel banana Blitz Calico.
We think.
What we're guessing, for what I've seen from, I wasn't here when this thing was born. Obviously, I wasn't around. I mean, I was around, but not here yet at the time. And from what I've seen from older videos and looking online, and as it's aged, I think we're all there. And it's just, one, it's a beautiful animal. Not very many animals do you get 2 different tones of color here. I mean, even as it goes down, you can see it kind of slowly fade. It's just a beautiful animal. The pattern, the spots, the yellows. I don't know if the yellows are picking up, but that's like a highlighter yellow. I mean, just amazing, including on its face and head. What made me really excited about this is this snake is a 19, so really not too far off for laying its first clutch, but it was kind of a struggle bus. It was a pain eater. It was struggling to get up to size, and it finally did. And then it laid its clutch, and then after it laid its clutch, it took a meal right away. And I believe, and I could be wrong on this, but if I remember correctly, this thing has never, if maybe 1 or 2, missed a meal, 1 or 2 meals since it started, or since it laid. So ever since it's laid, this thing's been packing on food. And sometimes you'll have a smaller female that all it takes is that first clutch to get going. Now, I'm not saying breed your snake at 1,000 grams. Don't breed it at 8 months. This was at size. It was hanging on the edge of at size of what you would for any female, even a younger one. But it was also, 4 years now? So it kick-started it and started going. And sometimes you have females like that, where they're just smaller, not really wanting to do anything, but as soon as they lay eggs, they are in grow mode, in pack on food, and get ready for the next season. And this thing, really is thinner, right? But not like caved in. This is a good proportion for a female that has already laid eggs and putting back on weight. So I've been really excited taking care of her, because I know that this is just the start of a really great journey and project now that she is back on food, and I am very confident that she's going to be a consistent layer. And for her first season, to have 4 to 6 good eggs, no slugs, I can't complain at all about that. And so I think she will be a consistent, great breeder here, which is what it's exciting.
We're going from memory on the clutch, so we'll have to double check that sometime.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I was thinking it was 5 eggs,
Okay.
but it's somewhere right around there. And
Yep. But no slugs. I know that for a fact, because I was really excited about that.
if we're missing any gene as she's aged, my guess would be black pastel. And the only reason I'd guess we may be missing black pastel is because usually there's more spots with banana and black pastel.
Yeah.
But the other genes could be affecting that too.
Yep.
So I'm pretty confident in the Blitz, the banana. Well, banana's obvious.
Yeah.
And the Calico, and there's something else, right?
Banana, Blitz, Calico, Black Pastel.
Yeah. So I'm super confident in the 3, but the Black Pastel early on we thought was there. Now we'll kind of see when she has babies.
Yeah.
Because, again, the spotting. Now, what was she bred to?
She was bred to the Suma, which I think is a perfect male for her. Because at minimum, Suma is a super mahogany. So at minimum, we are just adding mahogany to this snake, which I think, if this does carry the Black Pastel, looking at how Black Pastel and mahogany work together is going to make a badass snake. I'm actually really excited about that. But, again, we're hedging our bets with super mahogany. Worst we can make is mahogany. Don't need to worry about normals. That's out the table. And so we can take that, and we're just layering one thing on. So say we just bred just a regular mahogany to this. When you take 2 genes that are like a Black Pastel and mahogany, which are darkening genes, and then Blitz, which isn't a darkening gene, but it's a darker snake in a way. It doesn't really add color. So you take 3 really dark genes, and you play the game of when it's in Banana or even Calico or whatever. Is this there? Is this that? Now, we really took that out of the game. We're really just playing with the exact genetics that mom is. We're not really playing with dad's genetics. We are adding to the snake, but we're not really gambling on, well, is dad's genes there or not? They are there. So now, I think if all genes are there and we hit an all gener with mahogany, I think our minds are going to be blown because just how I think everything's going to react.
We're going to get to a much darker purple, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which is... this has already kept its purple color really well for an adult. You put up an adult banana, and the colors here are way, way better. If you want that purple, which is what I'm always after. I'm always chasing that purple. So, yeah, you picked some pretty good snakes, I'd say that.
But, yeah, so those are my 2 picks. Let me know, not necessarily what, because obviously I only made a few videos and I didn't really show off that many animals. Let me know what your guys' picks are over time, how much... like what your favorite was over time. Like, I know when I first started watching your videos.
Oh God, we're getting into nostalgia. Say something for Patreon.
Long time ago was different than what it is now. So post what you think, because I'm curious to know. Just because, what I might think this is the best, and some of you might be like, the lesser pastel or whatever, right? So let me know. I'd be curious to see.
And on Patreon, because I didn't know what we were going to do there, he's going to share what he thought was his best early on. And I'm curious what it was before you started. If we still have it.
Yeah.
We do?
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Maybe we still have it.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't. We'll find out. All right. Anything you want to add, Kurt? Anything you want to add?
Nope.
I guess I'm supposed to be asking you questions.
Yeah. No, I'm good.
I don't have any. All right. That's all we got. You want to sign us out? You got good at it while I was gone.
Did I?
Go for it.
All right, YouTube. We'll catch you next time.